Have you ever pondered what life would have been like in the 1200s? Today we journey back in time, unearthing the stories hidden beneath the sands of time to the 13th century. The 1200s, a period often overlooked in the annals of history, was a time of significant transition. In the early 1200s, the world was a vastly different place than we know today. Europe was in the throes of the Middle Ages, the Mongols were on the rise in Asia, and the Americas were a tapestry of indigenous cultures and civilizations. In the early part of the century, the Chumash people, one of the indigenous groups residing in what we now know as California, were at the zenith of their civilization. Their society was complex and sophisticated, with an intricate understanding of astronomy and a rich tradition of basket weaving and rock art. They lived in large, established villages, trading with neighboring groups and navigating the sea in plank canoes called tomuls. As we move towards the mid-1200s, a significant shift occurs. The climate starts to change. A period of prolonged drought known as the medieval warm period begins to take hold, affecting societies worldwide. In California, the indigenous populations had to adapt. The Chumash, along with other groups like the Tongva and the Yokuts, began to rely more heavily on marine resources, hunting sea mammals and gathering shellfish to survive. By the late 1200s, the effects of the climate change were becoming more severe. The drought persisted, and the indigenous populations had to further adapt their way of life. Despite these challenges, they persevered, with their resilience reflected in their art, their spiritual practices, and their societal structures. The end of the 1200s marked the beginning of a new era. The world was on the brink of significant changes: the Renaissance in Europe, the end of the Mongol Empire in Asia, the discovery of the Americas by Europeans. But for the indigenous people of California, life continued as it had for centuries. They lived in harmony with the land, adapting and evolving, their stories written in the stars and etched in the stones. In summarizing life in the 1200s in California, it was a period of adaptation and resilience. The indigenous people faced significant challenges due to climate change, but they persevered, using their intimate knowledge of the land and the sea to survive and thrive. Their legacy lives on today in the rich cultural heritage of the indigenous tribes of California. So the next time you find yourself under the starlit skies of California, remember the stories of the 1200s and the resilient people who called this place home long before us. Their history is a testament to human adaptability and the enduring connection between people and the land.